There he is. There he goes.
Oh, there it goes. Chase him, Eddie. Great thing about fishing in these centre consoles, you can get up the front and you can chase these guys down real quick. Oh, look at him go. Chase him, Eddie. So this is a little black, I'd say 40 kilos. Oh, nice. Woohoo!
Exmouth in Western Australia is home to an amazing marine environment, just a 2.5-hour flight north of Perth. Regarded as one of the last great ocean paradises on Earth, Ningaloo Reef is Australia's largest fringing reef, stretching 300 kilometres and in places only 100 metres from shore. Home to hundreds of marine animals, including humpback whales and 3 of the world's 7 species of sea turtles, Ningaloo is one of the few places in the world where you can swim with the world's largest fish, the whale shark. Bill Classon travelled to Exmouth to fish the offshore waters outside of Ningaloo Reef, which have lately been recognised as being one of the best fishing locations for billfish in the world today.
Now, if there's one thing I wanted to do in the last 10 years was chase down this guy, Eddie Lawler. He chases billfish at Ningaloo Reef, just south of Exmouth, and there's a good reason for that. The place is just full of billfish. And have I got a challenge for you? First off, you're going to have to catch my mate Andy Collette his first sailfish. That's pretty important, but there's lots of sails here. The hardest thing is, I reckon as a team, we should go and catch a grand slam. 3 marlin or 2 marlin and a sailfish.
Yeah, I think he's a bit of a nutter, but we'll go and we'll see what we can find.
Now, what can I say about Eddie? Anyone who's into game fishing in Australia, and indeed in the South Pacific, has heard of peak sport fishing in Eddie Lawler. And some of his techniques have definitely revolutionised marlin fishing in the last decade.
I've got a dredge here, I've got a squid dredge. It's tiered, obviously for the less tangles.
And you run that off your downrigger, so you run that about 3 metres down?
Yep, 3 metres down and 10 metres back.
And off your outriggers?
Off my outriggers I run a daisy chain which sits just behind behind this dredge on the surface. We've got a small little queenfish stitched in behind a
skirt, and no hook again, just as an attractor.
As an attractor, and we'll pull this off the fish and we'll pitch a bait to that teaser.
And on the other side, on your starboard side, what have you got here?
We've got a mud flap daisy chain there.
A bigger bait, another queenie.
Another queenie.
All just to attract the billfish to the boat. And then you troll your 2.
Yep, and we'll run two baits behind them.
Yeah, those garfish. Cool.
Okay, so today we're targeting a grand slam. Got a swim bait and a skip bait here for our sailfish, black marlin. Light leaders, light hooks, small little circle hooks here. Hook them right in the corner of the mouth. Coming across here to a couple of smaller lures to target maybe a striped marlin, black marlin again, lighter gauge hooks, light leaders. And then if we were chasing a blue marlin, we've got heavy leaders, bigger lure, bigger hooks.
Over the past week, there'd been heaps and heaps of black marlin out, probably 5 miles from Ningaloo Reef, and that's where we headed. Now, I love my fishing, and I get as excited as anyone, but I've got to say, nowhere near as excited as Eddie.
Left rigger, nice fish, nice fish. He's gone long, he's on the left spin rod now.
He's going to hit.
Righto, he's on the right swim bait. Fish up, right rigger, here he comes.
I had a lot of trouble trying to understand what sort of instructions he was giving me at times. It was hooping and hollering and left and rights and all the rest of it.
There he is. There he goes. Nice work, boys, nice work. Here's a fussy fish, that one. Ew! Nice work.
Oh, there it goes. Well, this really likes the first part of the trifecta, little black. Now, fighting these billfish out of Eddie's boat is a real eye-opener. Being a centre console, He doesn't back down on the fish very, very often at all. He gets you up the bow and you fight the fish off the bow. You run a light drag, you run them down fast, and quite often you'll get the tag into them within 5 or 10 minutes of the fight. Oh, look at him go. Chase him, Eddie. Great thing about fishing in these centre consoles, you can get up the front and you can chase these guys down real quick. And I found fighting these marlin from the bow of the boat to be so much easier and much more sensible than sitting up the back and backing down on them. Eddie just told you to run a light drag and run the fish down, keep them up the top, keep them jumping, tire them out, get the tag into them quickly, and then a nice clean release. So this is a little black, I'd say 40 kilos. Oh, nice. Woohoo! Tag's in. The tag's in, so we can let it go now. Hang on to get the leader up there, Riley. There you go. First leg of our challenge, black marlin, underway. See if we can go get ourselves a sailfish now. Great black marlin. Ready to go, Eddie?
Ready to go, mate.
There we go. Now, Eddie, you obviously specialise in billfish, and I find your outrigger setup really interesting. You've obviously got 2 lines on your outrigger.
Yep.
One to the middle, one to the end.
Yep.
This is your end one. You've obviously got these rings here, and I can see here, this is your teaser, which you can control from up the top.
Yep.
On electric reel. So you just run your teaser halfway out through this ring.
Yep, there's a bait clip above it.
Bait clip above it. And you just run a set of teasers here, and then you run a bait
Or
off the end of it.
Yep, bait or a lure off the back.
You skip bait or just run through this peg here.
Yep, exactly.
Right, so you just run them with a bit of slack, and I notice you also clip them in below the reel.
Yep.
With a thread line with bail arm open.
Yep. So after we've got that up in the peg on the spinning reels here, we've got a little clip in here called a Dubro clip, which just holds the line and stops it over spooling. And that'll just sit in there, so fish will pull it out of the outrigger, it'll pull out of here, and it's then in complete and utter free spool to the fish. Fish will feel 0 weight. Angler will close it up, and hopefully we've got him on. Fairly light drag, just everything happens nice and slow, nice and smooth.
Now, Andy's a pretty amazing angler. He's a true fishing tragic. I've known him since the days of the early ANSA convention on the south coast of New South Wales, and that dates back to the mid-70s. And he's still fishing, and he's still just as keen and focused now as he was then. So Andy, how many times a year do you fish, and why are you here at Ningaloo?
I fish more times in a year than I can remember, and I'm here in Ningaloo to get a sail. I'm desperate for a sail. I've hooked him, and I cannot put my hand on one and say, oh, you're mine, I've caught you.
Now, mate, let me tell you, I reckon today is going to be your day. One of the great things about the fishery at Exmouth is that it's not just big game fishing. A lot of guys come here to fly fish for beakies, and here we were, just trolling along. We've seen a guy hooked up to a sailfish on fly. Over we went, but not too close. We just wanted to have a look, but not get in his way. And then bang, Andy's into a fish.
Righto, fish up, left rigger, fish up, there he is, here he comes. Righto, mate, got him on, good work, boys. Yew!
Both Eddie and I assumed it had to be a sailfish, and when it blew out of the water, sure, the big sail told it all.
Billy, on the right, there's another one there for you. Close it up, wind, start winding, mate, start winding. You're on, mate, you're on, another sail, double on sails, boys. Double, got him on. Yee-hoo! Well done, boys.
Oh gosh, this is nice.
Oh, look at that. Good stuff, guys, good stuff.
During any double hookup, you've got to have your wits about you. And as Andy had hooked up first, and me second, it was my job to keep my fish well back and well out of the way before Andy got his in and we got it in. You happy with that, Eddie?
Oh yeah, it's all right, eh?
It's all right. As you can see, it's a little bit hectic at the moment. Double hookup on sails. We've got Andy's to the boat. I'm just letting mine go well back. That's your first sail, Andy. Good on you. Well, that's the fish we're after. We've knocked over a black.
We'll let him go and we'll go get this other one, eh?
Dual hook up on sail.
There he goes. Perfect release, mate. Well done, mate.
You know, it's really great to see a guy like Andy who was just so focused on what he wanted to do. On the trip up here, all he was talking about was catching a sailfish. That was the whole purpose for his charter. So when he finally did it, you could see, doesn't talk much, Andy, but you could really see in his eyes that he was just absolutely rapt. Well, Andy's got his first sail and he's a very, very happy man. And I'll tell you what, one thing I didn't expect, I reckon I'm going to catch my first Indian Ocean sailfish myself. I had to let mine go 200-300 metres out the back and then swept him around the front. So here he comes right now. You got that tagpole, Riley? Have a look at that. That's a big sail. A big old fella.
He is, mate. He's a nice fish, though.
I'll tell you what, it's probably up
colours,
towards 40 kilos. Well, Andy, we're 2/3 of the way there. Maybe we're all the way there, mate. We didn't think we'd get a double hook up on sail. We've got a black, you got your first sail, and I've got this absolute cracker. Magnificent. Here we go. Look at that, lovely. Awesome. Now there's a whole heap of reasons why Eddie's so successful on billfish, but a couple of the points that I picked up on is the way he uses his teasers and the way he rigs his baits and what baits he uses. These little garfish are just dynamite on small marlin and sailfish. Eddie uses a circle hook, something like a mustad sea demon, and the advantage of that is once they're hooked, they get hooked in the mouth, they don't let go, and they're much easier to release. Now Riley was a real surprise to me. Eddie said he had a guest decky for the weekend, but when I turned up and saw how young he was, and then worked out how competent he was, I was just blown away. Now one thing we worked out pretty early on in the piece too, was that Riley was going to be part of the team. Sure, he was great on the bait table and could rig marlin baits like no one I'd ever seen before, but we actually wanted him to fish with us as a team and work as a team and bring home the bacon.
Wind into him, mate. Let it go, back it off, back it off, back it off, back it off. Just. There he is.
Oh, good marlin. So when Riley hooked up on his black, it was great to see just how competent an angler he was as well. Not only a great decky, but a really, really good young angler as well.
Move that rod if you can.
Okay. And Riley's well into it now.
Go past and then push it back in again.
You'll be right, Riley.
Yep, and push it. Let me get up if you can. And you grab
Oh. Oh,
Oh, there he is on the surface over there.
Just shows you how fast they move. Get that belly up.
Loosen the drag off.
That's it.
That's got better contact now. How good is that? And it just shows the advantage of being able to fish out of the centre console too.
Yeah. You'll get a shot here with that tagpole, mate. Be real ready here. Be really ready. There you go, mate. Tag him. Tag's in. Good work, mate.
That upset him a bit.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Now it's only real light leader here, man. Real light, it's only 70 pounds, so just give him a little bit, let him go again. Oop. Good work, boys. Good work.
It's gonna happen.
Nice stuff, boys.
Mate, great capture. Such a big fish on such a light leader. That was good teamwork.
Good stuff. Good stuff,
good.
mate.
That
Unreal.
was good.
Yeah, so we've got the black and the sail now, so we're going to put a couple bigger teasers in the water and see if we can find a blue marlin or a striped marlin and head for the edge. Got him on.
Got him on.
What depth are we in? 168. Could be a stripe. You're right, you can shorten him up a bit now.
Well, I can only say I was pretty rapt when I hooked up and Eddie called it for a striped marlin, because I knew then we'd finish the Grand Slam if we could get the tag into it. Go up the front, Eddie. Over the years, I think Eddie's got about 6 Grand Slams, but never one on film, so this is going to be a little bit special.
There he is, he's on the top edge. Woo!
Nah,
Just light drag on him, light drag on him.
got light drag.
Just sneak up behind him, he'll surf there for us, mate.
Oh yeah! And it was great to see everything's going to plan. Ran a nice soft drag, got up the bow of the boat, we ran the fish down. It was obviously fighting a lot harder than the blacks. It was really, really tough. As soon as you tried to put a little bit more brake on it, started to sound, get a little bit out of control. Eddie just came up to me and said, just back off a little bit. It came up again, started jumping. We ran it down. Everything was going well to plan. Grand Slam. Hang on. Oh,
Tags in.
tags in. Grand Slam, man.
Yeah! Grand Slam,
Well, you
boys.
did it. Now he's going nuts. So the job was done and Eddie had achieved our Grand Slam for us. But the fish was still hooked up and down deep, and I wanted to get it back to the boat for a clean release. Oh, Eddie, you said there was a chance for a Grand Slam. A man, last thing of the day, you've done it.
Late in the arvo, striped marlin.
Threadline reels, longer rods. It's really not a standard game outfit.
No, it's not. A lot of the time when they're going deep on us like this, we'll put a bit of heat on them there.
Yeah.
And then when they're up on top, cruising along the surface, we'll run them down, obviously, but we keep the drag light, keeps the fish up on top, and gives us plenty of opportunity to get a tag, grab the leader, and release the fish quite quickly, healthily. So occasionally they'll do this. Go down deep and it can be a bit of a slog of a fight, but we'll see how we go. Here he goes.
Here we go.
Here we go. He's come over. Go, JV. Go.
Here we go.
There he is. Reverse, 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 reverse. Reverse.
Hang on. Coming in
Go
hot.
forward, mate. Just come round on him.
It's up. And finally, after an hour's work, I got the leader up into Eddie's hands. That marlin was just so stubborn. I think we got it to the side of the boat probably 10 times before Eddie could finally get it up there and clip it off above the hook and let it go. Nice fish. Oh well, great fish. You tried your heart out, mate.
Yeah, we had him.
We tagged him, we got him back up, and we let him go. Good fight in the end.
Oh, yeah.
And as you promised, buddy, the Grand Slam. Sailfish,
so-
black marlin aplenty, dual hook up on the sailfish, and now that's stripey. End of the day. Ningaloo and Exmouth. Thank you, Eddie.
Well done, mate.